Hello and welcome Saturday 13th of January 2024 for the final day's racing, race 9 of the Australian 16-foot skiff and 13-foot skiff Australian national titles. I'm Jimmy Bury and joining me in commentary today is Andrew Dolly Davola and Steve Bowen, the Big S. Welcome, boys.
Thanks for having me, Jimmy.
Great to have you.
Jimmy, good afternoon, viewers. Beautiful day on Botany Bay.
Yeah, just thought we'd get Steve-O out here to get some air through his gills from yesterday's reunion day. How was it in there, Steve-O?
Oh, it was a great day. It was very jovial, I think, with all the old characters in there. A few legends. There was plenty of legends floating around. Some of those real and some of those perceived. The boys certainly had a good afternoon. We don't know what the count is on the kegs yet, but I'm sure it was well up there.
Got our own private truck back to Lion Nathan.
Yeah, well, I heard also that the Belmont boys, they left at 6 with the bus back to Belmont, and I heard they got home at 10.
Ooh.
So that was a long afternoon, half an hour toilet stops. I understand the toilet overflowed as well, so they had a few issues. So a few of them are probably just getting out of bed and shaking the dust off themselves.
And Dole, we seen yesterday the Southerly crown the Australian 16-foot skiff champion, race to spare. So they spoke to them earlier, and they're all raring and ready to go out here today. So which is good.
Yeah, super happy to see them coming out to sail again today, despite the fact that they could stay on shore today and drop that result and still win the championship. But what a fantastic result for skiff sailing, Australian sailing, females in sailing. For quite a long time, you and I and others have been singing the praises of Sarah and saying what a fantastic talent she is. And we were saying, someone should pick her up for this season. There was a bit of a talk of who would and who wouldn't, and they ended up putting their own campaign together. And yeah, history being made today. 88 years, I think.
102, Dole.
Well, 102 of 16s, but it's the 88th championship,
No,
is it? No,
102nd year.
102nd year of
Is it?
Yes.
Well, there you go.
Despite the history that says it only goes back to about 1933.
Yes, indeed.
Well, I'm sure Jimmy's got some good information from John Steamer. Stanley certainly knows everything historic about skiffs. And g'day, Steamer, if you're watching.
He will be watching.
But yeah, what a fantastic result, and what a fantastic role model Sarah is for other females in the sport. And massive congratulations to Keegan and Kurt, and a great day for the St George Sailing Club as well. Also, St George has won the Skates and the Manly Graduates this summer. So 3 national titles going to the almost new, rebuilt St George Sailing Club. So fantastic result all round, I think.
Yeah, I don't think we could have asked for more, really, with the rebuilding of the St George Sailing Club. And then we get a result such as this, first female skipper. Also, then she stepped down from Manly to sail with the boys from St George. So we've had a St George win as well. I mean, it just gets better and better, doesn't it?
It's a great thing, and I caught up with the guys from Southerly earlier today. Had to wait around a little bit for Keegan, but other than that, all good. And have a quick look at that video while we're just on IME there. Here with the 2024 Australian 16-foot skiff champions with a day to spare. Well done, Team Southerly. Brilliant effort, sailed exceptionally well. Talk us through it, Sarah.
It went a lot better than expected. We had the aim to get in around the top 5 every race, and we pretty much succeeded with that. So yeah, pretty good. Yeah,
you guys definitely nailed it. Kurt, you're the mastermind behind this team, pulling it all together. Keegan reckons he hounded him until he just said yes. So talk us through how you, for one, secured Sarah, and 2, talk Keegan into it.
Yeah, couldn't really believe our luck, really. With early on in the season, had a bit of luck with Bridgie being out and getting to sail with Sarah and Pete on Noakes for a club race, and halfway up the first beat in a westerly, and she never got out of the groove. We sort of thought this could definitely happen. She could win one, and from then on, I sort of straight away rang Keegs and said we could do it with her, and he wanted to go come 12th in the Moss Nationals, but he finally decided to come down here and go for a sail. So no, it all worked out really well, and massive thanks to Matt Triglone as well for sort of handing us the keys to the castle and giving us a rocket ship to do it on.
And Keegs, you've got the opportunity to join a very elite club as a dual Australian 16-foot skiff and 18-foot skiff championships with that all starting tomorrow on the mighty Finport.
Yeah, I know. And we're defending champions in that one from last year as well. So it's I think Matty's cancelled his flight down to Geelong and he's going to sail tomorrow. So yeah, what can we do? I just love going sailing. So whenever anyone normally asks if it doesn't clash with the moths, I usually say yes. So yeah, no, I'm pretty stoked at the moment.
Well, lucky you said no to the moths this time.
Correct. Yeah, no, don't worry. The boys are sending me messages and congratulating me and stuff. So it's actually been quite good. But I am still watching what's happening down there and sort of missing that as well.
You won't be missing it too much, trust me. And first female skipper to win an Australian 16-foot skiff title in 102 years. Pretty special thing to do, Sarah.
Yeah, I've definitely been feeling the love. My phone has not stopped ringing and buzzing, so yeah, no, it's been pretty exciting.
And has it sunk in?
Yeah, I think this morning it sunk in. I'm feeling so relaxed today, it's nice.
Well, guys, thanks very much for your time. Go out there and enjoy the lap of honour, and we'll look forward to cheering you on again today.
Thanks, Greg.
Thanks, Jimmy.
And there you go. And Dol Keegs, as I alluded to in that interview, he's now got a chance to join a very, very rare club of winning an Australian 16-foot skiff title and a 18-foot skiff Australian title all in the 1 year.
Now, I think I might be wrong, but I think Lee has done that before, hasn't he?
Lee has done it.
Yeah.
There's only a couple others as well. I didn't have that much time on the phone with Steamer this morning, but it's a very exclusive club.
It is.
And Keegan is the current Australian champion
Yes.
but that's from previous year.
Yeah.
So let's have a quick look at the results. You got the results there, Dole. We'll just go through the top couple in each category because they're all out to play.
We're just going to get those up on screen for you. So in the 16-footers, obviously we've got Sarah Lee and the team on Southerly out in front on 14 points, Imagine Signage on 22, Moon and Yachts on 31, Noakes on 32.5, Skelcon 34, Fluid Building 41, Swell Racing 45, Sail Racing also on 45, 9th is IME on 50 and 10th is SKE Electrical Banjo Nicholson on 54. So you can see there's quite a number of battles and positions to play for still in that top 10. We could see a bit of boat-on-boat action, people sailing their opposition to try and get their results today, but they also need to be very careful that they don't get too far back in the fleet. But what we have been seeing is those top boats, regardless of what's happened most days, they've been able to wiggle their way back to the front, which has certainly been one of the attributes that we've seen from Southerly. Even if they were back in the fleet a bit, they've managed to fight back and get those consistent results in the top few positions every day.
And the real one to watch there would be Noakes and Moonen for the final spot on the
for third
podium.
Place, yeah. So there's only 1.5 points separating those two. So and two great crews and great blokes, and I'd expect they're both very fair sailors, those guys, but they'll be out to do battle for that last place on the podium.
Yeah, I'm sure Lee will be coming out firing. he's been on the improve, I can see, through some of the later heats there.
Yeah, they've definitely improved on the way through, and you think Lee will be fired up. How about Pete Mackey?
I think all the boys will be.
They'll be fired
Something
up.
to prove.
Yeah, but so will the Moonan boys. They'll be wanting to grab that last position on the podium for sure.
So even the Suddenly, I understand that they were into bed fairly early last night, 8:30. So sounds like they're serious about trying to get another win today too.
Yep.
Yeah.
Well, Dole, let's have a quick look at the 13ft skiff results there.
Yeah, mate. The 13s, it's tight at the top. That's for sure. So we've got Cybertech Group and Ebix Sail Racing battling it out for the top spot, and they're currently tied on 9 points. Depending on where they finish today, then they could end up even. There's a interesting, if you look at the scores, the tie breaks are hard to break as well. So I'm expecting those two boats to be sailing very hard on each other today. And both spoke to both teams on shore. They're both confident, and yeah, they'll certainly have a ding-dong battle out here today. Third overall at the moment on 21 points is Heidi and Orlando in Harkin. They've had a bit of a rough regatta, so they've done very well to fight back in the second half of this event to get in third spot. We've got Plonk Cafe, Avril Richardson on 29 in fourth. Fifth is Black Cat on 35. Sixth is Sail Media. Go the Sail Media on 35 also, so they're tied. Just back in on 38 points in seventh is Fluid. Eighth, Modern Concept Constructions on 40. Cheeky in ninth on 43, and in 10th spot Bartley Construction on 49. So still once again battles within battles in the 13s, and they've been having a great week racing, haven't they?
They have indeed, and not long off the 5-minute signal here for the 16-foot skiffs. And there you go, as we said, five minutes. But you notice there's not a lot of boats out here at the moment. The race committee has decided to sail us from the Sydney Airport Yacht Club. We're that far out in Botany Bay.
Yeah, here comes QF 457. Yeah. Hey, there's Mum. Give her away.
Just on screen, there's the Imagine Signage team currently in second place. Nathan Wilmot with Brady Davis and Jack Hildebrand. They've sailed an excellent regatta, and certainly the last few days, you know, they've battled back a couple of times from being a little deep to getting back to the front. Yeah, they're pretty much a clear second place now. Going into the last race.
Who have you liked out here, Dol?
Who have I liked?
I mean, watching the week going on, we've obviously got the usual contenders, but who do you think's improving? Who's our up-and-comers?
Look, I've been talking them up all week. The Skelcon guys, the Meakin brothers, they've been sailing exceptionally well, both upwind and downwind, and they've found themselves at the end of the week in a good position. Also, Ace. Yeah, you know, that looks like they're not a big budget team. Then they've been sailing very well and going fast. And also SKE Electrical, you know, Banjo Nicholson is very young and obviously with a good team, but sailing brilliantly for a young guy of his age and experience, that's for sure.
Well, watching the coverage yesterday, I did, the swell caught my eyes. Was it Matt Meany? I had a chat with those guys. They've only been around for, I think, 3 years, Belmont boat. He said he was sailing 470s before, so they're certainly doing very well given their, I would say, lack of experience.
And they're leading the youth division.
They are,
which is good to see.
And lovely young blokes they are.
We caught him up.
Should have left them in my equation. As well, mate. And, you know, they've been rigging next to my young bloke in the boat park, and I know quite young Felix quite well as well. And yeah, they're nice fellas, and they're confident and sailing well.
Yeah, well, I did tell them they were my pick for today. I said it's a nice sunny day, it's a feel-good day, so I said let's see a Belmont boat win it. and go out there and give it a good crack.
The other one that's been quite impressive is the guys on CJK with Gilzo.
Right.
The young guys there.
Darby
helping
Jones.
Darby Jones.
Yeah.
And they've been in the mix, like that top 10, 15, for most of it. And, just a few little trip overs that they've had. But, they're actually, there's good depth there at Belmont, that's for sure.
I've watched Darby come through the junior ranks and the flying 11s. I know him quite well, and once again, lovely young bloke and a talent, and I'm sure we're going to see a lot more from him in the future. We're inside 2 minutes now, and we're definitely missing a few boats, but looks like most of the certainly all the major players are out here. Still a couple of stragglers getting up the bay. They might just make it, but under a minute and a half now.
It's a bit unfortunate, really, isn't it?
Well, good practice for the Belmont Bay Regatta when we're around the Bay Regatta.
Yeah.
And
they'll be hoping there might be a general recall.
Yeah, well, as we've seen with the tide, like we're right in the tide here at the moment, and the tide's been pushing the skiffs over every start. Hence the black flag coming up a fair bit. There's 1 minute to go.
Out back Marine just ducking back to be behind the line, but already with a minute, Jimmy, we're looking at boats that are quite advanced down towards the pin end there. We'll see how we go, folks.
And the ones that have been impressing me, Dole, and not just because it's my boat, is the fire stopping. They're actually starting to gel as a team and really develop and getting consistent results. So it's good to see that Alex, Lockie and Jamie are finally coming together.
Yeah, they're certainly on the improve, aren't they?
And a good result today could see them win the handicap. Down the pin end, we've got a few boats over already, but
definitely looks like a general, doesn't it?
Well, I think we could identify those boats down the end there that are over, but we're not in a perfect line here. No, they've all gone. Sarah Lee's decided to take off and...
Well, that's a positive anyway, isn't it? Let the others come back through, have a full fleet to start.
Yeah, there's a few latecomers who are going to be very happy to see that. There's some decent players too. I can see Modern Concept Constructions have missed that start considerably. So they're going to get an opportunity to put the hammer down and get up here as quick as they can for the next start. Sarah decided to just take off. She's got nothing to lose, has she?
Sarah was saying, Mum just said, do not get disqualified. That's the only thing for being out here.
Good advice. Remember years ago they had if you jumped the start, you could actually go to a mark another 70, 80 metres further than the top
that was
mark.
at the Georges River in 2003, I think, Steve-O.
They did it Manly too.
Yeah, but remember, Bruce killed that idea because he worked out that he'd just jump early, go sail all the way up in clean air, get around that mark, and he was the penalty wasn't as bad as
he wasn't first, but he was certainly in the top 5 every time.
That was quite a funny experience.
And Jimmy, with Alex and the boys with a chance of taking out the handicap here, I think you won the handicap in the fire stopping back in, what year was it?
2004.
2004.
So 20 years in the same boat, if that happens today.
Can history repeat?
Fingers crossed.
Was that down here, was it? 2003? No? Shorncliffe. Because I think last was it down here, Trojan Fiberglass. Maybe that was 2002, 2003. They won the Nationals down here.
That was at the River Club.
The River, correct.
Yep.
And then we went back to St George. When was the last Nationals there? 97, Blatchford.
Yep. Yep.
Yeah, I was talking to Hubble yesterday. I asked him how many he's won. He said, "Well, I'm unsure." I said, "Was it 7?" He goes, "Yeah, that sounds about right." Anyway, it's nice to see him. He wasn't here for the first hour or so, but he did turn up.
Peter Hubble.
Found a dog on the side of the road, did he?
I have no idea.
Yeah.
He's always a pleasure to talk to.
Yeah.
Pete Hubble.
Definitely one of the legend crews of the 16-footers, that's for sure.
Yeah, well, you were just talking about all the talent coming through, and I'm sort of reflecting, thinking there's not too many Generation X's out there still racing around, is there?
Yeah.
Lee's out there, but he's starting to get it handed to him a little bit at the moment. Well, as I say, we'll see what he does today. I'm sure he'll be fine.
Handed to him by a young lady.
Yes, that's exactly right.
Yeah.
That'll bring a smile to his face anyway.
It will. It's a very popular win in the boat park.
We all got out there after the race, and we put her in the boat and we carried her up the ramp while she was seeing the boat. So it was quite an enjoyable afternoon.
Did they reweigh the boat? Is it?
Yeah, well, I was the only bloke at the front, and I was feeling it there, so I can tell you.
That might have been the beers, mate.
Well, maybe.
Certainly not very much to Sarah to lift up, so wouldn't have made a lot of difference, I don't think. Whereas if you'd lifted it with Keegan and Kurt in the boat as well.
Yeah, that's what I said.
Well, as long as Keegan's wallet was out of the boat, you're fine. You'd be able to lift it.
Just got the fire stopping boys coming past behind us off screen there, just giving us a wave. They're all smiling. They were doing a few mast repairs in the park this morning, just making sure they had a bit of trouble yesterday with their masts. So just making sure it's going to get through the day. Modern Concept Construction boys, there they are on screen now. Jared, Chris and Jackson, they were a little bit late for that first start, so they'll be wiping their brow after that general recall.
And so will Will and the boys on the Employment Hero Doll. They're still probably 300 metres to go. Do they get up here to the start area? And there's Sarah, Keegan and Kurt on the Southerly.
Our new Australian champions in the gold leader jerseys. Be really nice to see them come out today and just wallop them again.
Well, early to bed last night, it wouldn't be a surprise.
That's the 5-minute signals.
Yeah, they said they had an early night last night, but it won't be an early night tonight.
I don't think so. Isn't Keek sailing tomorrow, though?
Keys is sailing tomorrow. Started the Australian 18-footer titles at a double base. So
we'll see if you can
if you haven't had enough of sailing, tune in tomorrow on 18-footers TV on YouTube. At what time do we go live for that, Chits? 2. So dial on in there if you haven't had enough of sailing, and catch myself with Peter Shipway and Andrew Buckland and the great team we got on board here. We'll be bringing you live the 18-footers for that.
Yeah, full credit to you and the team, Jimmy. It's been awesome coverage this week, and the commentary's been fantastic too, Dole. You're all over it.
And the boys behind us make us look good, that's for sure. Fantastic work from the Sail Media team. There we are, 4 minutes. And we've gone Blue Peter again, so would appear Tinny's going to give him a couple of chances today.
Well, we've got plenty of chances. 4 laps, 1.4 nautical mile beat. Where's the local chandlery to get nav lights for all these guys?
Oh well, means we can bring you plenty of time and plenty of action this afternoon, folks. So, yeah, we're doing 4 laps. We're on a course bearing of 060, I think it was it, Jimmy?
Yeah, 060
and 1.4 course length from the top to bottom.
Yep, and yeah, and just for the viewers, where the race committee has plonked us in the middle of Botany Bay, we can really only get the drone up here for the start, and we won't be able to have the drone up for the majority of the race because we're literally right under the approach of both runways here at Sydney Airport. So apologies for that.
We don't want to bring down any aircraft or get into any trouble.
It's more the trouble. Our chief pilot's overseas. It's on duties over there. So
how many knots have we got out here, Jimmy?
Probably 12.
Yeah, I'd say 12 to 13, 14 maybe.
Very comfy big rig.
Yeah, everyone with the big rig on that I've seen
Except
so far.
so far so good.
Oh.
And Red Pumps Red, I think, has got the little rig as well.
Have they?
And Man Flu, we've just been told, it's the little rig. Yes, they do. Good find.
They might have been looking out, and with the wind against tide from the club, it always looks a lot windier than it really is because it white caps at about 13 knots. Just that tide pushing against the breeze. I'm happy to say that my little team on the Employment Hero have decided to put the big rig in today, which Baz and I spent many late and early morning hours putting together the other day, and then they decided to not put it in yesterday. Coming down to a minute 30, and everyone looks like they're moving in fairly early again, and I wouldn't be surprised with this Blue Peter that we see another recall, but miracles do happen. Looks like most of our heavy hitters are down towards the pin end. I'm sort of predicting they'll be looking at pin end and going as fast as they can over to the left-hand side of the course.
Fairly congested there, centre of the line.
Yeah, they're being reasonably well behaved at the moment. They might surprise us and we'll get a start away here. We've got Sail Racing and Red Pumps Red look to be the most lured boats. Sail Racing's decided to just take a little dip back towards the fleet. And at the bottom of your screen there now, you can see Red Pumps Red, Imey's down that way.
Fluid.
Both Pepsi Max and Man Flu look very advanced on
And no
this line.
sense. That's no sense.
Yeah.
The yellow boat doll in the middle
Yeah.
of the screen there.
So our starter can identify those few boats. So if the rest of the fleet are behind, we might get away. But everyone's pulling the trigger.
Yeah. The others have dragged them forward, haven't they?
Yeah. So, yeah, general recall. And that'll be their last chance. That
Sounds like the horn needs a bit more air put in it.
So I would say without a doubt we'll be going black flag on the next start, and anyone who is on course side in that last minute of the countdown will be disqualified. So we'll finally see them behave. Certainly won't see anyone with a shot at the title or a shot at a better position pushing the limits too far.
So course-wise today's, what are you thinking? Left?
I like the left, Steve, and I've been right most days, but there's a couple of armchair admirals online that have
Been helping Dolly out with all that.
just sending us messages, and
Yeah. Some of them have been saying you're just lucky on the chocolate wheel.
yeah, that's it, mate. Yeah, and have been for the last 60 years. Yeah. So, but yeah, that'd be my call. But what we will see is there'll be boats sailing boats. So, with the point score the way it is. But yeah, for my money, mate, I'd think that the breeze has got some east in it. If it's going to tick around, might get a little bit of north. And you can pick up those puffs off the end of the runway too. Can't
That's
you?
right. Well, they can pick you up too.
They do. Yeah, as a few I've found out this week.
In terms of board, big or little, what do you think they've got in?
Little board.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Brave
Yeah.
person that big board in today, yes.
There's a few guys that are actually been going higher up the range with bigger boards, which I find unusual. A lot of chop.
We couldn't get rid of our
Quick enough.
big board quick enough
Yeah,
back in
I
the
know.
day, could we?
Yeah.
Just more problems for the foreign really, isn't it?
Very true. Wasn't my problem. That was your problem, this.
Yeah. Majority of the boats aren't using their big board anymore unless it's way down, like almost drifted at light conditions. And a number of boats have now have a board lifter, so they can pull on a rope and put the board up and down, so rather than the crew have to go in and manually do it in attack, or
You used to call that the forward hand, didn't you?
yeah.
Just another thing the forward end doesn't do.
Something else for him to complain about?
But,
Must be pretty quiet at your forward end unions meetings these days, Steve. There's not much left to whinge about.
They've been dissolved.
Yeah, they got sick of listening to him.
Just like my wife.
But yeah, Red Pumps and Modern Concept Constructions both have a system in their boat where they can pull the board up and down on the fly just by pulling on a rope.
That's certainly a big advantage, isn't it? Because if you can keep shifting that board up and down as the conditions change, you're just at maximum boat speed the whole time, and you can see generally the boat's well. You can feel it, I guess. Your boat starts to trip over, and you need to get another 2 inches of board up to get it flowing again.
So just on the board lifter, Dole, like the way I've seen them in the international 14s.
Yeah.
So out here with the jelly blubbers and the rubbish and so forth, they get weed or whatever on their board. They can't physically pull their board out in a hurry and get it back in. Is that right?
Yeah, to an extent. You can actually get the board up quite a long way on the board lifter, surprisingly, especially if you're on the small board.
Okay.
But yeah, and it's not that hard to connect and disconnect. So yeah, between races they can certainly do
Not during?
a board clear.
It's 5 minutes there.
Yeah, I understand there was plenty of jellyfish earlier in the week. I imagine you'll be wanting to pull that board out before the bottom mark and clear it before you start again.
Yeah, interestingly, when the breeze is up, you tend to be able to chop through them.
Right.
And in the lighter air, the real big ones, you can get them jammed on the board and they may stay there for a bit. And I think we saw a few performances from boats during the week, didn't we, Jimmy, where boats were going really well and then the next lap they just seemed to be not in the mix. And I think a couple of the times, Steve, that some of those boats might have had jellyfish jammed on the centreboard.
I did hear a bit of commentary saying that the jellyfish were actually worse than the weed up at Belmont when it's on. So,
Yeah.
you know, you lose a lot of speed and you're in all sorts of trouble. You can't afford to be waiting half a lap to be sorting those problems out.
And there's a black flag displayed on the committee vessel.
As we
Yeah, speaking to young Felix off Sail Racing, you know, he was saying it's actually quite like distracting to him steering the boat with the thud, and you know, I said because I was basically just saying, it really hasn't been your guys' week. You know, they've had a couple of good results, but not what we'd be expecting from the Sail Racing guys. And he just said it's just so distracting on the helm, just hard to get used to.
Yeah, they had a great result yesterday, getting a race win, and Paul Darmanin said this morning to me, don't talk about them. So
I've just looked out the window and saw a couple too. It doesn't look too bad, but there are a few floating around.
Nowhere near as bad as what it's been, that's for sure.
yeah, there was literally 10 big jellyfish per square metre.
Wow.
It was insane.
Yeah.
SKE team there that we were talking about earlier. They've been one of the great boats that have been getting some great results and have impressed me this week, that's for sure.
The fluid's certainly been on the improve too, haven't they?
They have been electric, Stevo, and they've got that new in the boat feel to it, where you're going super quick everywhere, and then something breaks or someone falls out of the boat. But a bit more time in that boat, that crew, I think you'd see the Fluid name possibly on the podium.
Yeah,
They look very quick to me downhill.
yeah, they've been a bit unlucky, and they're currently holding down 6th spot. And just mentioned SKE there before. They're 10th spot, so they're in the top 10. But they've looked to me to be sailing very well. And as I said before, with Banjo being one of the youngest in the fleet, sailing with Scotty Beebe and Joel Skelton have been impressive. So we're coming down to 1.5 minutes now, and everyone's been a little better behaved this time. I've got Fluid looking down to the leeward end of the line, along with Red Pumps Red, Noakes Storage. Looks like Cunningham's down there, and then above them we've got NFPG, Contender, Moon and Sail Racing, Southerly's down there. So
bit of congestion up the boat end, it looks like.
yeah, a few more up the boat end this time than last time. I can see the Red Pumps boys there, and Employment Hero a bit stood up above. Hopefully they don't get the squeeze that a lot of them got yesterday onto Peter Timworth's boat. Don't want to scratch Tinny's boat again. We're inside the minute, coming down to 30 seconds. It looks like everyone's behaving well, and hopefully we don't see any DSQs, BFD. A couple of boats are going to get caught out above the boat end here.
Yeah, Sheds is going to take a little... Oh, here he goes. He's just tipped away, boat end.
Yeah, but definitely barging.
Nowhere to go.
Nowhere to go there. You can't do that, folks.
Row B there.
And here we go. That looked like a clean start. And
Good start by the Red Pumps Red.
yeah, and up at the boat end, nice start from Tom Cloud on the Tagara. He's been impressing me on the start line this week, always getting out of there well. So yeah, we had Hunter Hart, Safe, Sheeds and Smash got caught above the committee boat there, unfortunately. They'll be a little late. So you can see there we've got Red Pumps Red and Insight Building with Fluid just to weather of them. So Red Pumps Red and Insight, they've taken the pin end and they're going to take that. Let's get to the left-hand side as quick as possible route and see how that goes for them. Bruce has been trying to own the pin all week,
which he now has officially done.
He's been doing that for a long time.
So we'll just make our way across the back of the fleet here. Now drone's giving us a great shot. You can see where all your picks are on the line here as we fly over the top of the fleet, going from the pin end back up towards the top. And we're right on the limit at the moment of where we can fly the drone, so we'll get you those shots while we can.
You just saw Red Pumps there. They look well positioned on the fleet.
Yeah, and they want to finish on a high, Steve-o. They've had a pretty disappointing regatta.
Yeah, they've had some unfortunate breakages and things just haven't worked their way, unfortunately. There's the fire truck there, looking in pretty good shape. Yeah, majority of the fleet are making their way out to this left-hand side of the course. They'll just be waiting until they get a bit of a header.
Well, the one we've got to keep, the two boats that we've really got to keep an eye on here in the 16s is Noakes and Moonin.
Yeah.
And here they come. And
So there's Moonin on the screen now. So he's elected to tack out of there. He didn't have a good lane. It'll be interesting to see if he.
If we just pan back on the camera a little bit, I think you'll capture Noakes as well.
Yeah,
they're pursuing them out there to the right.
Not letting him out of his sight, right, Steve?
No, keeping him very tight. Fluid's following out there too. We can't see him. We got the back of them. Sutek there. My eyes aren't as good as they used to be. There's the Sutek. He's had to take a little clearer out. Coming back on a starboard tack. There's the Imy. Cross there. Miami's just crossed the Moonin.
Off screen, we've just seen Imagine. They've had to tack out as well, trying to find a lane. But also, he'll just be keeping a bit of an eye on the Moonin Noakes battle, as they're his closest competitors, but they've pretty much got that second place sewn up. And yeah, the boats going super hard left include Red Pumps Red, Insight, Sail Racing, CJK, Modern Concept Constructions. They're sort of leading the group out to the left with Swell and Skelcon as well.
Just going past the Outback Marine, there appears to be a problem with the jib car or something along those lines.
Yeah, it looked like Alana was just trying to, there they are on screen now, they've got a problem, as Jimmy said, looks like the problem with the jib track or jib sheet. Breeze is filling in nicely here, isn't it, Steve-O?
Yeah,
a bit of a build-in pressure, do you think?
A little bit flatter over here on the left too. It'd be interesting to see who goes the furthest and see how they come out of it. Looks like the majority have actually went their way back to the right again, or maybe they're just looking for clear air, take a little dig out and then come back through the fleet.
Yeah, they're sort of mid-course, they've taken a dig back and they're just chipping through that middle, sailing the shifts a bit, trying to find some clear air to stretch their legs. I can see Zoe Dransfield in Botany Access not in a bad position there too, so good to see them going well today. There's the Rivcon team on screen there. They're also a young crew.
Where are they from?
They sail from Belmont, but they're a bunch of young Gosford sailors. So Kai Rivers steering and Will Rivers along with Brent Bonner.
There's a few holes in this breeze though, isn't there? You want to be changing gears. We're out hard on the left at the moment, right next to the Sail Racing. It's just a bit of a hole. He's going to come back in a breeze. It looks solid, I'd say, for the next couple of minutes. So we'll see when they converge on each other and again see which side's favoured. Too early to call, do you think, Dolly? I think we're safe to say left's got this. We've got a homie coming across here.
Yeah,
the Sail Racing, that'll give us a bit of a guide.
Yeah, the middle left guys aren't looking too bad. I'm liking where Skelcon are at the moment. They didn't hedge it all on the left. And they're a little bit advanced on some of the boats, but you know, we were talking up the Swell Racing guys before. They're looking in good shape, and Insight building just behind them. So they went pretty hard left, but they just went back a little bit earlier than Sail Racing.
They're just hooking into this nice breeze line that's coming out of the shipping containers up here too, so that'll help them.
And the leeward of the Skelcon there, you can see Red Pumps along with Eric Storage, but really good to see the Red Pumps boys having a good race today. They want to finish off with a bang today, I know. Hopefully they've ironed out all their bugs and they can put a good one together this afternoon.
Skelka's looking really quick through the water there. High too. Here we go, Belmont boat, Skelkan, Swell, Insight. All look to be doing very well.
Quite Lake Macquarie-ish conditions out here today, though, isn't it?
It is, yes.
At Yarra Bay.
We'll see if they get on top of the fleet and just take a bit of a loose cover on them.
Yeah, both Swell and Insight starting to advance now, so yeah, I was right, Jimmy, besides what people might be saying at home, that left-hand side paid pretty well, didn't it? So we're seeing Insight.
You can be right once this week, all right, Dol?
They'll always be downers, Dolly. They'll always be downers.
We're seeing Insight and Swell, yeah, clearly crossing the boats that went middle to right. Modern Concept Construction's also in good shape here. There they are, just come into your picture there. But yeah, they're crossing behind Imagine Signage.
A huge duck on sale racing just to the right of screen there, behind Domino's.
Yeah, I wouldn't be letting these guys get too far on the left by the swell and the Skelcon at the moment. I think they're looking under the boom there and looking at the red pumps. They probably should just have a little sneak behind them and keep an eye on these other guys. Who are you calling as leader at the moment there, Jimmy? What do you think?
I think swell for my liking at the moment.
Yeah, swell by a whisker.
Just to the left of the shot they are.
Insight's moving nicely too, aren't they? They're just sort of pushing the boat a little higher.
And that boat there on screen, they're normally good for a race win, Eric Storage.
And they haven't had one.
They haven't had one.
Yep.
They've come the furthest left.
New helm on there for this season, Scotty Cotton, and he's stepped onto the boat doing a great job.
And red pumps red with the little rig right up there.
Yeah, that paid for Bruce, just going for that pin end, and with the little rig he needed a low line that he could go fast, and he managed to pull that off, so great job.
Unfortunately that downhill is going to hurt a little bit.
We're just starting to see Skelcon and red pumps advance a little bit there. At the moment, Inside and Swell have just copped a little bit of a header. The boat's just to leeward of them, which are those two you can see left of your picture. Skelcon and red pumps. They've just maybe made a little bit of a comeback there, so be interesting to see when those two converge back. It looks to me like they're going to sail all the way up to this ley line at the moment, doesn't it?
He seems to be sailing a little bit lower. I don't know if he's getting dragged down with the red pumps, which is their natural tendency. I want to be thinking about fairly shortly, I imagine.
And that's Colonel in the background for the viewers at home.
Interesting, a couple of different styles there. We're seeing Rod Carter likes to sail quite a high groove and a little bit slower, while Swell Racing are just putting their bow down a little and just getting the boat through the water a little bit faster. And look, both can work, and you can get to a point and still be dead even. It's just people have different techniques of the way they like to sail the boats. But yeah, we're just seeing Skelcon and red pumps tack, and they will cross those two boats. So they were left, but they tacked out of there a bit earlier than the other two.
And the rig on Inside building doll, that looks small. Is it? Do you reckon it's their small rig or just different?
That is
profile?
their big rig, but yeah, it's a different profile. I'm pretty sure that's their big rig, Jimmy. But yeah, slightly different profile to what we see on some of the other boats. As I said, maybe yesterday or a couple of days ago, Rod Carter actually makes his own sails under the Ullman brand.
Looks like the Swell's just split the two of them there. But he's going to roll down over the top of the red pumps and try and squeeze them out, although there's plenty of room.
Yeah, so when we came back together, there wasn't much in it, and as I say, it's not like Skelcon and red pumps were in the right. They just tacked out of that left-hand side a little earlier.
It's a little softer on the top mark at the moment, but as the Skelcon rounds, we're going to get some nice breeze coming out of the corner up here. So I can't see, there must be at least 30 seconds worth in it. So you'll probably get the first 10 or get away with the breeze, and we'll see what happens after that.
It'll be breeze on if we get an A380 come through, Steve.
Yeah, we're right in the maintenance department of Boeing over here.
Yeah. And a number of other boats that went a little too far left. We've got Red Pumps and Employment Hero, IME. They've just overstood this mark on port tack. So they're reaching in, and they are going to really struggle to find a lane to tack into. Also coming in there is Lee Napton's Noakes, and I'm just having a look to see where the
There's a Southerly just round her.
Southerly's around, just behind Imagine. Red Pumps, Bruce Savage did well to find a spot there to get through.
We can see there's the Noakes in that cluster. I can't see the moon and yet.
No. Okay,
Here they are coming in from right of screen.
He's got room there, he'll be right.
That was actually the sail racing I called there as Employment Hero, very similar signage. They managed to find a gap, and there's Daniel Turner and the team getting around.
Probably wouldn't hurt to get a little jibe off if you find the room and find some clear air down here. There's a lot of boats working their way down to the right there.
Yeah, NFPG have just taken that option, Steve, just jibed set, and we've had IME set, then jibed. They got out of there.
We'll start running down with keeping an eye on the whole Moon and Noakes thing. Bring that to you guys as best we can. As we alluded to earlier on in the broadcast, we cannot get drones up where we are currently.
Yeah.
We're literally right on the approach of both runways here.
If you look at CMG there, Steve-o, you might spot a rigging error on the spinnaker, can you?
The CMG.
Just
With
get
middle
the
harbour boat,
camera to
they've
come
got
back around to
They've
the,
got
to the left.
spinnaker sheet going all the way around, so they're going to have to
Outside jibe.
outside jibe. That's going to be a long
That's
day.
always fun. No sheet to work with either.
Yeah.
Got a bit of cloud building up down there to the west.
Yeah, so you can see CMG on screen there now. You can see that spinnaker sheet going around the front of the spinnaker. It's not meant to be doing that, unfortunately, for the boys. So they might have to do a bit of re-rigging, maybe quickly on the upwind to correct that, make their life a bit easier. They can still sail, but it makes it very difficult, especially jibing.
You can just see the Ivy, we've just dropped out of the screen there. He went over to the left there and he's jibed back again and starboard, so we'll keep an eye on that.
There he is there in the back of shot, Steve.
There he is, back in shot again. Moonan's gone that way as well. Obviously he's well behind, looking for some clear air.
And there is the Noakes, who had, I think, 2 boats between them and Moonan at the first top mark.
So at the moment they're holding the advantage to pick up that third spot, but we've got a long way to go in this race yet. Never rule Daniel Turner out of running him down, that's for sure.
Coming there, you've got the sail racing, and just below them we've got Swell, which they look like for some reason they dropped back a little bit. Whether it was a bad set, I'm not too sure. Suddenly's just working their way back through.
They've done that all week, Steve-o. It's been so impressive that they don't panic and they just chip away and it just all the cards fall their way.
Almost inclined to say they're probably back at about 4th or 5th there. Got Red Pumps, they've just jibed.
That's Eric's Storage, I think.
Sorry, apologies, Eric's Storage.
The other boat that I was saying and having a good week was Ace. They're up there today too, Steve, so that's good to see. They have the purple spinnaker for those looking from home. Sail racing, they're still chasing down inside and coming quite a way down to this right hand side looking downwind. Right inside there, and I would be expecting them to jibe shortly, but they've obviously found a nice vein of pressure here and they're happy to stay with it and cross it. When they get to the other side of it, they'll jibe and try and carry that same pressure down the bay on port jibe.
They're not going to overcook it, are they?
Yeah, they seem to be coming a long way, don't they, Steve?
Yeah. That rig does look small though, doesn't it? It is big rig?
No, you might be right. It might be their little rig. It does look small, doesn't it?
Maybe, but maybe that's why they've come so deep.
So inside have now Jive Sail Racing still coming down behind them. Surprised to see the inside with the little rig because they're certainly swinging some height out there with Flano and Stoney on the wire. They must be thinking this breeze is going to build.
But his little rig is doing very well.
So the purple spinning you can see there is Ace.
Just coming up on the 13s, they've just started, and the Ebix and Cybertech, as to be expected, are glued to each other.
Yeah. At the moment, Ebix just in front of them and gassing the Cybertech.
That's Skelcon still there, just leading the red pumps, and they're going to get through, and they're going to have to jive to get through that gate. Yep, jive there. Now he's going to run it in square.
Yeah, they'll get there. But red pumps coming in a bit hotter, and spinning a chute on the red pumps, so makes it a whole lot easier. We're going to see Skelcon just getting the kite away in time, and good thing they got that good tight rounding because red pumps were shaping up to slot inside them, but they've instead decided to put the bow down, go fast and try and get through to leeward, which they've managed to do there. They've got through to a lane where they've got clear air now.
Ericsson and Ace have done very well down there. Picked up a couple of places.
And there's Sarah Lee in Southerly, coming around in 5th spot. Closely followed by Nathan Wilmot and the team on Imagine. The usual suspects.
Yeah, Moonan's going to have a lot of boats with this bottom rounding here. It's going to get very congested here shortly.
But he shut down on Lee, which is what he needs to do, right? So I can see here Lee Napton in the Noakes. It'll be interesting to see if he decides to go for the left or the right turn here. He's going to jibe, drop and go for the right turn. And now we have those two boats, Moonan and Noakes, side by side. So it's game on for 3rd spot here, folks. And lots of congestion here. They've now got dominoes in between them. And a number of boats coming in from behind trying to slow down. Imey did manage to sneak in there.
Imey will get our best. Sutik did very well there. Pushed their way through.
Then we've got
what did Sutik do? Oh, they're excellent building consultants.
If you don't know, we're all in trouble,
Yeah,
Steve-O, as a boss at Sutik.
I'm still learning, mate. I'm still learning.
Unfortunately, the botany team appear to have a knot in the halyard there, which is unfortunate for Zoe and the boys, but looks like they've managed to sort that out now. But that's put them on the back of a 10-boat train that are all gassing them.
The moon has just cracked off a little bit and tried to push out for some clear air. But another big group of boats coming down to the bottom mark, and I think unless they decide to split, we'll have a bit more congestion. Probably not as bad as last time, though. It's still relatively tight racing, isn't it?
Very first lap, and we've completed a lap and very tight down here at the gate. I'd expect them to spread out a little bit with another lap to go, and the action won't be quite so thick and fast. But
seems to me some of the bat markers must have come down with a little bit more pressure, so it seemed to have caught up a little bit.
About to see Rivcon go get that kite tucked away. They'll squeeze around in front of the fireball. Just in front of them was the Noakes Blue. just behind that group, the Bartley Construction.
Is that my imagination, or the colour of the water's changing now and a bit more of a sandy? Is this as the tide goes down?
You are correct.
I think they call that Botany Bay Brown.
Delightful.
Yeah.
Yeah, we've got 3.5 metres under the boat currently of water, so
In the middle of the course, basically. So only 3.5 metres of water in the middle of the course.
What'd you call it? Botany Brown.
Yeah.
Okay, I'll have to find out the Duelat's colour chart, I reckon.
Botany Bay Brown.
Botany Bay Brown. Love it. For someone else's house.
Just looking at Felix and the team there on Sail Racing. They're in pretty good shape today, sailing the boat nicely.
Certainly challenging for your crew out here, Jimmy. We can't get the drone up. We're trying to
got it up at the moment. We'll just be getting it down very shortly, because or else we're going to get out of touch with the leaders, unfortunately.
Well, the fleet's really split up here. We're heading over to the left at the moment, but quite a number of the boats have headed off to the right now. It's still early days, but probably a few of them are throwing the dice and seeing how they end up.
There's Lee Napton's notes. And yeah, they're just keeping an eye on the Moonan's just taken a tack away from them. I wouldn't be surprised if we see Lee and the team just keeping an eye on the opposition there. Looking to gain, so he's decided he's going to keep punching out to this left-hand side where he wants to be. So yeah, you can see notes at the top. We've got.
Is that Imey there above them too?
Yeah, that's Imey just above and behind the notes. And that's Insight Rod Carter that's split through. So he's done well with that little rig.
He's done very well.
Yeah, yeah. Insight Building, Rod Carter. Bruce Savage's Red Pumps Red, also on the little rig, and performing quite well after a very good start. Unfortunately, he did punch a little too far to the left and did overstand the port hand ley line, but very, very good job for him to get it in at the top mark and find a gap to tack into. As that first lap, you get a big procession of boats coming into the mark. It's very hard to find a hole sometimes.
Noakes has just tacked back and they have crossed the Imey.
Yeah, I like what they did there actually. They let Moonan go out to the middle and they just waited for. They looked like they tacked onto a lift there. So, and they're not in bad company with Imagine Signage, and Red Pumps have done the same a little further up course from them. So
we're coming up the far left side of the course at the moment. You've got Noakes, we've got Moonan there as well. There's a bit of a loose colour, as Dolly was referring to. You should see there's the swell. They look quick uphill. Moving up towards. Still got the Noakes on the screen. Noakes Moonan. Sail Racing seems to be moving forward. Should be coming into screen very shortly.
And you'll never guess who's managed to work their way into this lead group. The boat with the big S on the sail. They are flying this week, absolutely.
Yeah, currently, I'd say in third, very close to second at the moment.
Yeah, we'll see them in the moment. We're just working our way up. Red Pumps has just tacked in front of them. They probably could have gone a little bit further and gassed them, but they're being nice today, playing nice.
And there they are on screen, the Southerly.
So they've come through and they've worked their way up to probably third position at the moment, behind Skelcon and Red Pumps. And let's not be surprised to see them continue marching forward, and it'd certainly be a stellar way to finish off this championship with another race win, wouldn't it?
We're not far off the top mark for the 13s, Dole, so they're just all approaching there now, so we might jump onto that.
See if we can get some good pictures of the 13s. They're just on approach to the top mark, and you can still barely separate the Ebix and Cybertech, but at the moment Ebix just with that slight advantage. It's going to be interesting to see when they get to the bottom, isn't it, Jimmy? Because we've seen very good downwind pace from the Cybertech team of Theo and Kobe this week.
And they both sail a different technique. It's
a bit of trouble there, sir. Here comes a roll.
So we've just seen Cybertech roll over the top of Ebix just after the top mark rounding, and we've got the Sail Media team in third. Then there's a following group of MCC, then Cheeky, then Harkin. Then we've got QED.
And then Black Cat.
Black Cat and Botany Scaffold. So a little bit better from my girls today. Hopefully they can stay up in that leading group, but they're certainly the focus all day today is going to be the battle between the Ebix and Cybertech for the championship.
Nice tight fleet though, isn't it?
Yeah, first beat, there's not much between any of them, is there, Steve?
No, they're all doing very well.
So we'll just keep some pictures of them while we can, because there's a lot of interest in the 13s from at home and back at the club. So really happy we can bring you those shots, and we'll keep you informed of especially the leading battle as the race progresses, folks. Great shot of the 13s there. Shot from the boat, from our boat, that is, our roof camera. And just coming into shot there now is the Skelcon. There they are. So that's our current leaders in today's race.
Certainly the Southerly looks like they're coming at them fast.
Won't be long, you think?
I don't think it'll be long. Nice flat water up here though, I'll give them that. We'll be hoping for a good puff around this top mark, and you'll be away.
Bit of pressure here right now, isn't there, Steve?
Nice.
But it might be gone by the time they get around this mark.
It's certainly coming and going, isn't it?
Yeah, we're up this top end. There's a lot of industrial infrastructure up this top end of the course that's chopping up the breeze a bit. The docks and the fuel storage. Skelcon putting some gas onto the Red Pumps boys there at the moment, keeping them at bay. But yeah, the big mover and shaker here is the Southerly. They are going to move now into second place, I think, by the time the Red Pumps tax. Yeah, we can clearly see that they're going to cross Red Pumps by a long shot there, and they'll be round in second place. Nothing to lose for the Southerly crew.
And Dole, just a reminder that obviously we can't get the drone up. You're just seeing the plane in the top of screen there.
Yes,
we are literally under the runways here.
We can smell the jet fuel.
So the Skelcons have come round. Not much breeze. They're in a bit of a hole. They're going to have to drive up a little bit if they want to chase it back out to the right there.
And look, a puff right here now for the southerly.
And they might get deep off that. It's not
Yeah.
a long one, but might be enough to get them through.
Windward set because they took the right-hand gate at the bottom.
A little slower.
Don't think it'll worry them.
Imagine have also managed to slot through and get back on the red pumps. They're hard charging. There's the red pumps. Tyler Dransfield. Eric Storage next around. Scotty Cotton. Great race from them today. And then we can see Ace just tacking behind Jared Smith in the Modern Concept Constructions. Good result from them today if they can stay up here. Oh, spoke too soon.
Stay in the boat.
Yeah.
Hold it together. Comes inside in the port hander, he'll be clear.
Yeah, very good where they are with the little rig, Steve-o.
Yeah, doing very, very well.
It's not a little rig day, is it?
No. Not much weight on the boat, maybe?
No, they got plenty of weight on the boat. Flano's 7'5", and he's not small, right? So, swell racing. Next one around, and then we have
Where are the
sail
Noakes
racing.
and the Moon? And that's what we're interested in.
I can see him coming, mate.
Yep. I think a Moon, unless the Sutek splits them, it'd be Noakes followed directly by Moonen.
You got a few Port Antakas coming in here
there's
too.
plenty coming
Yes.
in here, mate. And the
That's true.
Sutek is going to be in between, but we've also got Tom Clouts, Tagara, contender as well. The Fluid Building. Gee, they've overlaid, haven't they, mate? You almost put a kite up from there.
Well, I guess out of the chutes, probably better to come in high and
Army
reach
with
in a
a
little
big
bit,
wine
isn't it?
glass.
Just with the fire stopping there.
That's disappointing.
You did say the Fluid was fast downwind, mate. So they're going downwind to get to the top mark.
Great tack there, though. Let's see what their set looks like. Big Phil Harmer. Pump it, Phil.
See Zoe Dransfield in Botany, looking for somewhere to tack right in front of the Tribeca.
Overcooked the top mark. Wait till you see the angle. Bruce Savage coming back into shot here.
Shot now, yeah.
He just dropped into the airport to have a toilet break.
2 beats in a row, they've done that now. Once again, though, with the little rig doing well.
Let's head on down and try and get back down to that bottom mark before the leaders do.
Cunningham's coming in just there too with red pumps.
Both Moonen and Noakes have jived down early and not letting each other out of their side, obviously.
Interesting with Noakes and Moon and jiving both out over the other side. We'll just come into shot shortly.
Yeah, well, I don't think it did them any favours down the other side last time, did it? We didn't see anyone really come forward. We'll see how quick the Fluid actually is. They're here in the contender. We'll see if they round with them at the bottom mark. They must have had a few troubles up the first beat.
Yeah, not too many places to hide out of the tide here, is there?
No.
Got Domino's just trying to roll over the top of fire stopping, but fire stopping are managing to hold them off for now. They're giving chase behind the Ivy.
They're certainly well placed, aren't they, the fire stopping there?
Yeah, they're doing well, and that could bode well for their handicap result, Jimmy, that they're looking to take out.
They're in good company with the boats around them, that's for sure.
So racing with SKE Electrical. Still holding on to this starboard hand jibe, getting a fair way down the course they'll be driving pretty soon because they're almost on a port-hand giant ley line to the gate. Wouldn't want to be going too much further.
I guess they've got a nice little gauge off the boats in front there, don't they? Shouldn't get it too wrong.
Yeah, it looks to me like red pumps are on a pretty good line though, aren't they?
They do. Which the Sudley and the Skeleton, they joined early and they're going to have to come back. They've got 2 more left in them.
Yeah, 2 and then they'll be coming in back with the starboard advantage, but and we'll cross these chasing boats. But yeah, I'm thinking Nathan Wilmot and Tyler probably shut a little bit of distance down on them then. We're just going to get you some action at the gate. We've just passed the 13ft skiffs and it looks like Ebix is still leading and Sail Media may have moved up into second and Cybertech in third.
Skelcon seems to have held their lead down to the bottom marquee, just getting set up for a drop. Going to make it nice and safe here. More important to get the... just got it caught.
Some of these spectator boats don't seem to have got the 100 metres from the course memo. I know they want to watch the racing, but they're a little bit close to the action for my liking. Certainly making our life a little bit harder to bring you the action.
Yeah, not that you're hamstrung with no drone for over 3/4 of the course, and you've got people jamming in on us, making our life difficult.
Makes
So
it challenging.
Skelcon, the Makins, leading Sarah Lee in the southerly, close behind Nathan Wilmot, Imagine Signage, Tyler Dransfield, Red Pumps, all of this top 5. So next we've got Eric Storage. We've got what, maybe 2 boat lengths between the top 5, hey Steve? Between each boat?
Yeah, it's very close.
Very good racing.
Modern's come forward a little bit too, haven't they?
Yeah, good gain from then. Modern Concept Constructions. They're going to take that left-hand gate just to find themselves a bit of space.
The Fiji Water there going around.
Yeah, Fiji Water 13. Ace have just hung a little bit wide so they can not get caught up with them and give themselves a clear rounding.
Is that a protest flag flying on the back of Ace? Is it?
Would appear to be, Jimmy. Yes, good spot, mate.
Here comes Insight, followed by Sail Racing. Late drop there on the Insight. We'll see how they go here.
Spinnaker chute makes it a bit easier, Steve-o.
Yeah. A lot easier, isn't it? Didn't realise they had the chute.
So that's actually a China hull
Right.
that's had a spinnaker chute fitted to it, which is an interesting... They chopped that boat open and...
Well, you can see the difference there with Sail Racing. He's still packing it away. They haven't got the weight out on wire yet.
Got our sailing administrator offering advice to the boat that's in the way.
Next round we've got TTR and a very close one. I think CJK might just get around. The swell didn't establish an overlap early enough there. They just had to back out a little.
Just got a message through from Dave Taylor.
The Beaky.
G'day, Beaky, watching. He just said, just keep an eye on Skelcon for third in the points.
Still doable.
Yeah.
If they can win this race and there's enough points between them and the Noakes Moonan battle. And we're about to see Noakes come into the gate and take the right-hand mark, and there is a real gaggle of boats between them and Moonan at the moment. So the little general just putting a bit of pressure on Bridgie there with a late drop. But if there's a bloke who's up for it, it's Ricky Bridge.
He's straight out on wire, isn't he?
Got it done
There he
and
goes.
out on wire. And, mate, he had some pressure on there.
So what would you say? 1, 2, 3, 4, possibly 5 boats between Noakes and Moonan at the moment.
At least, even with a split off the other
A
side.
couple of boats going around that left side as well, yeah. Tribeca with a bit of boiler room rights there on Moonan, which is going to put them into the gas of Fluid and Sutex. So things not really going well for Daniel Turner there, but he's going to put the bow down and get that boat wound up and
Steve,
give chase.
you started with Ruffy or Daniel Turner for quite a number of years. How is his mindset right now?
Look, like most skippers, he's fairly quiet out there and just be expecting the boys to do their job. I don't know what sort of options he's got here at the moment. They don't look particularly quick through the water, and I was just trying to have a look in through the back of the boat and see how much board they've got up. I'm assuming they've got second headsail in there on the big rig. It looks fairly inboard too at the moment. So, I don't know. I would expect them to go a little quicker. They just look a little stalled maybe.
Yeah, it looks like they're sheeted in on the car and twisted in the top, which is a good option. Nice mainsail twist there too. We're just going to see if we can get your picture there. There they are. So you can see they've got their mainsail twist and their headsail twist pretty well matched. And to me that looks like sort of, are we going to go fast? Boat speed set up, not looking for height, just going fast.
Well, there's a bit of chop out here now, isn't there? So you don't want to be trying to wind it up too much and push for too much height.
Both of them in shot there now, so you can see Lee Napton's Noakes to weather of the Moonan, and not really in it, although I might look at it on this shot, not really in a position where they're getting gas. But yeah, Ruffy obviously want to keeping him in his sights, and he'll just try and grind away and get back into them.
He certainly looks very attentive. He keeps looking back at the moment, seeing what's going on behind him. He's just sailing a hole, which is going to help him. And Noakes up above him is in good pressure. So he'll probably lose another second or two there. He's got to advance into it. Plenty of breeze out here on the left.
That last mark rounding represented our halfway mark in this race, so still a long way to go yet, folks.
Nice to have the drone up again.
Not for much longer, mate, unfortunately.
Just coming past a couple of our happy volunteers enjoying the action. I think it might have been Stephen and Catherine Isles, perhaps.
Yeah,
thanks to all our volunteers this week who have been tirelessly out here, long days on the water, and obviously they've got to be prepared quite early. So thanks to all our volunteers. These events don't happen without good people helping out and giving up their time and holiday, their leave from work often. So yeah, we really appreciate all the help, everybody.
Yeah, well, it definitely couldn't happen without the volunteers. I did catch up with Graham earlier, and he did make mention of that the volunteers have been a huge help for him this week to run this regatta.
Yeah, like all sailing events, it doesn't. We don't get to go sailing without the good help of people that give up their time.
Well, currently the way the points sit at the moment, I believe Skelcombe would move to third if they get a first.
If they can win, but Sarah Lee's looking to spoil the party, mate.
If they get second, Steve-O, on your count?
Well, then it'll come down to how far back.
We've got Moonan on 31, we've got Noakes on 32.5, and we've got Skelcombe on 34. Whether Ruffy's thinking, look, I'll try and just finish it directly behind Lee and the Noakes. What would you be doing now, Dolly?
I think you've still got to sail the boat, but as in sail your opposition. But yeah, I'm sure they're aware that Skelcombe were in the hunt. But now that Skelcombe are up in that lead group, it's sort of in the hands of let's say it's in the hands of the southerly gods, mate.
It's yeah, you're certainly going to just keep sailing the fastest track around the course. You can't be affording to be playing funny buggers, can you?
Just going to make our way up. It's you can see Lee Napton's Noakes on screen there at the moment. They've got the controlling position over Moonan Yachts. But as I said, we've only just passed the halfway mark of this race, so still a long way to go. A lot of golf left in the hole, Steve-O.
Sure is. It's at least another 5 wood, maybe an 8 iron in, and just a putt to finish. I'd probably be in the bunker for about 3, but that's just me.
Right on the beach. So just heading up now so we can bring you some pictures of our leaders. And I can tell you right now that Southerly is right in the thick of the action.
In the background there, you've got Cybertech is actually leading the 13-foot skiffs from Sail Media, and then Ebix.
The Southerly looks like they've got their jib in front there, so they've got clean air, where they're going to try and squeeze up on the Skelton there and just jam them out again. What do you say? What? Geez, there's not much between them, is there? Boat length maybe? They're just maybe a boat length to windward. Skelton on the Southerly.
Yeah, just don't want to drop down too much further to figure it out, Steve. We've got red pumps almost affecting their line to bring you these shots of Skelcon and Southerly here in a second.
I think red pumps might appreciate our a bit of a wash ride up to the top mark.
That's
right
not
now.
too bad, Dol.
They're in a great position there now. They've picked a nice lay line. I mean, they are in 4th place, but I think they've positioned themselves well. It looks to me like they've tacked onto a little bit more pressure than what our other 3 boats have got there. But yeah, for my money, boys, I think Sarah Lee is extending, and I think Imagine is coming through with them. But yeah, not going to ride off the Skelcon boys. They've been on fire all week.
First boat you've talked up at the beginning of the broadcast, Dol, and we haven't sunk them.
Well, you know, I've been talking about those guys all week, haven't I, Jimmy?
Yeah.
I've been really impressed with the way they're sailing.
And really nice guys to chat with too.
Yeah. And I'm a hard marker, Steve-O.
You're a very hard marker there, Dol. I quivered just at the thought of it.
You're glad you're retired now.
Yeah, exactly right.
So I don't critique you
Who's
anymore.
this idiot running at the top mark? He can't pack a spinnaker.
If you're packing a spinnaker around the top mark, Steve, you've
that's
taken
right.
your time.
Just having a breath of fresh air. Before I get that 8 iron out again. Well, we've got a few spectators out here anyway, don't we?
Yeah, it's great to see the interest that the skiffs are creating. I think the live streams, you know, bringing a lot more awareness to the class, especially in the sailing community. One of the spectators I can see up the top end of the course here is Grant, one of our former Commodores from Manly, on his yacht. He's obviously come down from Sydney Harbour to have a look today. G'day, Grant, if you've got the live stream on as well. Just having a listen. Grant Winsham, he might have Andrew St John on there with him too, I think. So we await just here at the top mark. We're just looking down. We've got them on screen there now.
Come around to our right on that shot. We'll be able to see. Southerly
Southerly's got the Skelcon there, it looks like.
has well and truly got them.
Actually getting some bad air, I'd say, at the moment.
So she's come through the leeward of Skelcon, advanced, and gone around their bow, and now she's to weather of them.
Don't know if we're going to look at their setup. We'd be interested to see where they got their head sail set up too there, Dolly.
Yeah, it looks similar to they've sheeted inboard with twist. So there you go, folks. Our new national champions now leading the last heat of the series, which they didn't even have to come out and sail.
One more time. Imagine certainly taken some out of Skelton as well, haven't they?
Yeah, and also Red Pumps have come back into the fray.
They look very enthusiastic, those boys there.
Yeah, look, I caught up with the boys in the club after racing yesterday, and let's just say they were pumped.
Skelton's got big trouble. They've got their spinnaker caught on the top spreader. All sorts of trouble. He's going to have to drop that.
I'd jibe Steve-O, wouldn't you? No?
But no, he's just going to battle through for a while.
Or rip the top spreader off.
Here comes trouble.
I've seen a couple of enthusiastic crew just keep pulling, and problem he's got there is he's got Imagine underneath him and he can't get out of there.
I think given where he is, I'll just drop and start again.
Merrick Storage is around for the viewers at home.
Certainly held Red Pumps too, hasn't it? We can't see them on screen there. We've got the Erics. They're just having a nice comfy race. They've got their own space there.
Yeah, Skelcon have had to drop that kite. And they're trying to... I think we've just seen Modern Concept Constructions do a
Not on
there.
screen, yep.
It's inside, still holding in the game.
So they may have just had a little port and starboard infringement or something, but they've just done a penalty turn there to exonerate themselves. So good sportsmanship there, because we've seen a few incidents this week where people aren't really playing fair. So full credit to Jared and his team. Ace were around just before Sail Racing and now Modern Concept. So Modern Concept in doing that penalty turn probably dropped a couple of places, but they're clean now and can just concentrate on the rest of the race. Following up will be TTR next round, TTR Sybil, followed by Darby Jones and CJK and Hugh Stoddart in Imey. And from the other side we've got Swell Racing and SKE closing in on that group, and then we've got Lee Napton's Noakes, and I can see they've probably a 200 metre gap back to Moon and Yachts, and maybe 2 or 3 boats will separate them in the battle for the third, but we will see what happens there, because we've had another boat come into play. Unfortunately, their spinnaker set went a little pear-shaped, but they're back in play on the Skelcon. They've got that up. They took a dig out to the left-hand side of the course looking downwind, and they're back again. Ron Carter's inside building on screen there, still hanging in with the little rig.
They're still in, looks to be 5th position, the Skelcon. Looking at the numbers, I don't know where the drops sit, but a 34 to a 30, 39, and look at the Moon and the Noakes, they're not even the top 10 at the moment, so you'd still assume that they would be third and sitting at third. Something's just, where are we now? Who have we got on screen? Is that inside? Moving forward. We're just, as we move forward down the course here, the gate, just looking down towards Sudley, and they just look to be clearing right out at the moment.
Yeah, so Sutherly just went off screen on your left-hand side, and we're now seeing Red Pumps and Imagine. They've just jived, so you'll see a white spinnaker in the left of your screen shortly. And they have literally gone, haven't they?
Yeah, just see
they are there. So they're in a slightly more windward position, but wow, we'll see when they converge at the gate. Imagine and Red Pumps look like they've jived onto a bit more pressure than what Sutherly currently have.
Right. You wonder here whether Sutherly just gets another free run through as Red Pumps and Imagine start to fight for second and third. Eric's desperately in fourth.
Skelcon have really stubbed their toe. They're back in, what would you say, 5th, 6th, sort of at the moment.
Fifth position, I think.
That spinnaker problem they had was costly, without doubt.
They've still got plenty of space back to to the next bunch there. So
Just getting word through that Cybertech, for the viewers at home, led around the bottom gate.
Yeah, I can see them now. Cybertech leading, and
Evix hot on their heels.
Evix hot on their heels in second place. So we'll keep you updated as the race goes on, folks.
From the busy Botany Bay.
Busiest it's been all week, isn't it?
Oh, it's crazy here that we're lucky to get a spot out here to race in.
Pretty much all week we've had the whole bay to ourselves.
No different today, Dol.
So we're just down the screen there at the moment, the Southerly, just to right, we're just panning back out again. Should see them come into play. So they'll be dropping very shortly, they're probably 100 metres off the gate.
Overstood it a bit, Steve-O. They were coming in pretty tight and hot there, weren't they?
Yeah.
Definitely not flat.
No need to do anything desperate, is there?
No. That's just allowed Imagine and Red Pumps to gauge their spot where they jibed off the Southerly, and that gave them a little bit of they got a little bit of that ground back that Southerly put on them on that run. Just managed to close down that gap a little, because Southerly had marched away to quite a substantial lead, but they just overcooked that starboard ley line a little bit.
Good rounding by Imagine, forward hand out, good pack.
There we are with the limited area that we can get the drain up. We've got back on the Southerly.
So once again, Steve-O, have a look at that twist profile in the main and jib. Looks pretty sweet, doesn't it, for these, you know, a little bit of chop. Like to just have that little bit of twist.
For me, it just looks like he's got the car out just a little bit further than what we looked at with Ruffy.
Yep. But they're swinging hard and just easing a fraction of sheet, so they're right in the sweet
Yeah,
spot.
super flat the boat.
I was talking to Maxie, he's on the top mark boat, and he was saying they've been the flattest out of everyone at the Bearaway all week,
Yeah.
the Southerly guys. So
Next round behind Red Pumps, we've got the Eric Storage, and yeah, then the Skelcon. So yeah, unfortunately for the Skelcon team and supporters, they had a bit of a spinnaker issue up at the top end of course, and that's been quite costly for them. Ace in Sail Racing. It looks like Sail Racing will get an inside overlap here.
an insight overlap, was it? Or
You're just including inside early high.
Little play on words there.
Work with, yeah, I know, I'm a little slow there, Chits.
MCC coming in hot, but spinnaker chute drop makes it easy. Chris Williams hasn't even left the wire there, so
Go through twice as many spinnakers though, don't you, Dol?
they do wear them out, yeah. But you know, if you've got a big money sponsor like the Sutec, I'm surprised the Sutec doesn't have a
two spinnaker chutes.
yeah.
Two boats.
Training bait.
Okay, so we've got Imey and Noakes pretty tight here.
These two have been glued together all day, haven't they?
Yeah, and Hugh wasn't going to give Leroy any room inside there. He said, you don't have an overlap. Back off. Darby Jones and CJK next around, and they had a bit of pace on, so he had to go below the Noakes.
Punching out very quickly.
SKE,
A little bit of trouble there.
they're a little bit untidy. They've got to put their washing away, mate.
Yep. Oh, that was a bit tight.
Still not going in. Big pulls. There we go.
Swell. They've just dropped back a little bit.
Oh, Dave Dave on the fluid gave poor old Wendy a bit of work to do there. But he's got the job done.
Well done, Phil.
Here comes the Sutex, Steve-O. Would you like to critique their rounding?
Well, what are we now? 8 metres, 10 metres. Get out, Josh. Get out. There he goes. Not bad, not bad.
Well,
Jib was on at least. They're not swinging a great deal of weight, those boys, so they're doing relatively well with this big rig in, this chop. We might get a look at it a little bit later and just see how much main they've got off. Still tidying up.
Well, they got Big Dargy on there for this regatta.
That's true, actually.
He's swinging a bit.
Yeah, well, James once again managed to injure himself. Instead, he jumped off a bridge or something into 2 foot of water, and there goes his leg.
Yeah, it's amazing the silly things people will do just before a sailing regatta.
Yeah, exactly. I'm sure he's listening anyway, so g'day, James.
G'day, James. Hope you're healing up, mate.
Nice shot of the swell there. Oh, it is a swell shot there, Chids.
They're riding the swells.
I've got my multiple personalities going in the back of my head. I keep getting Chids just talking to me and saying all sorts of obscene things.
Just gives Haley a break for the day, mate.
That's exactly right. No true words been spoken there, Jimmy. Chids reckons she's got her on the phone. She's always misbehaving, that girl. Lucky I'm the good guy in the relationship.
Looking down on the notes there. Once again, giving a good vision of the rig setup, and for my mind, they weren't carrying as much twist as what we saw on the southerly. But 2 big solid lads on the wire on the Noakes.
I think Bridgie's done in the 18s, isn't he?
He is
He's
indeed.
throwing the towel in.
And he's handed the keys to the smeg over, so he unfortunately went out with quite a pretty serious injury.
That was nasty, but it's great to see him back in the skiff again.
Yeah, he's a tough character, that's for sure. All of them are.
Yeah, all 3 of them.
I'm just wondering, actually, say hello to Clint, Adam King, Dave Burkett. They're over in Japan at the moment, but I'm sure they're watching the coverage at the moment, probably enjoying a little Kieran or something. Hope the snow's doing the right thing by you boys. Gee, the gaps are starting to open up now, haven't they, Dolly?
Yeah, we've seen a few mistakes from a number of boats, either picking angles and lay lines or just having little errors with their sail handling and stuff, and it just shows when you're at this level, doesn't it, that you really need to sail that 100% perfect race if you want to be in the front. Real credit to Sarah, Keegan and Kurt. That's exactly what they've been doing, and race after race consistently, and that's why they're going to have their name engraved on that historic trophy tonight. And making history while they do it. Fantastic.
It's got the Erics there. He's probably, at least I'd say 400 metres off the southerly, maybe 300.
Yeah. And Jimmy, just look out your window. What do you think? Oh, we've got some 13s on screen there now that are coming to windward, but we've got some 13s going downhill. Looks to me like Cybertex once again gained a bit of an advantage. Be very, very close. But
Yeah, Cybertech for my mind at the
They've
moment.
just gone off screen there now, and as we come around, you'll see the white spinnaker of Ebix on the opposite jibe going out to the middle of the course. So
Nearly picked up one of Dylan's wingding mates on the anchor on the front of the boat.
See the botany access under scaffold, is it, under the Imagine signage? Saw Justin down at the club yesterday, one of the big supporters of the skiffs.
Justin's out here watching today, I believe.
He seemed to be enjoying himself yesterday.
Always enjoys himself, Juzzy.
yeah, Justin, John, and Adam, great supporters of the sailing, right through. You know, they supported the junior sailing at Manly, a couple of regattas, and now we've got the Botany Access 16 and the Botany Scaffold 13 on the water. So thanks very much for your support, guys, past and ongoing. So there they are on screen again, Sarah, Keegan and Kurt, and look, just look at how flat that boat is and driving through the water. And the other thing that, and I've said it before this week, that has really impressed me, Sarah, there's nothing to her, and she hikes. She hikes really, really hard. So
Yeah, well,
they're just going to disappear out of sight there. But for those who sail any kind of boat, and you know, there's been a couple of days this week we've been racing for hours, and she just hikes hard all day, and here they are in front. They've won the regatta. They're in front in the race, and she's not resting. She's still...
The other boat there in shot is getting lapped is Smash, which is the young guys from Hornsby Karingai that are sailing under the Manly banner for this regatta.
Yep.
you can really see the difference there, though. I mean, you look at the Sudley, they've got their legs crossed, they're in tight. The foreign hand's got his arm behind his head there, swinging hard. Sarah's sitting in behind Keegan's legs, trying to stay out of the spray at the moment. Nice tight unit. Flat and fast.
That's the key.
I've lost my pebbles. What are we up to in terms of laps?
Home time, isn't
Home
it?
time?
Is this the last one? Yeah. So yeah, we're going around the top this time, and then we've got the run to the finish. And as we thought might happen, it's a victory lap, folks.
This is nice, isn't it? Just come out here and really enjoy it and suck it up.
Yeah. And rub it in.
And rub it in.
Yeah.
I'm sure there's a bit of conversation going on, a bit of leg rubbing.
So I'll tell you what though, imagine signage, they're just not on screen yet, they're just a little bit round to the right. They might give the Southerly a bit of a fright here when they take over.
Yeah, I think you might be right there actually, Jerry. Seem to have snuck up the inside while we've been blabbering away.
It's like Matt Hazel, our secretary manager, on the back of a jet ski there, Jimmy.
They're from
Yeah, that's Matt. Shout out too to the Manly staff. They did an awesome job yesterday. Got John down here as always, put on a spectacular function, and Matt was down here. He's enjoying a few cold ones, but he's always heavily involved. Adam as well was down here. I know I saw Jimmy earlier as well, so all the rest of the crew, great job yesterday, guys, and all through the week.
So imagine trying to spoil the party here.
But yeah, as Maxie was alluding to, look how flat that Southerly is and how flat it stays for the Barroway.
Yes.
There they go.
Wait, just go in for the red pumps. Imagine looks very vigorous there. They want to get it up quick there and get moving. Who's set first? Sudley's got it set. They're away. But slightly lower. Red Pups aren't too far behind either. You'll see them coming to screen very shortly.
We'll head on down with this lead 3 to the finish, eh?
We don't want to miss this finish, do we, Jimmy?
Negative Ghost Rider. And the breeze is bent up the top here. Look at the angle, Southerly and Imagine signage are on.
Just while we're heading down there, you can't see. Eric's is going to come around fourth. Looks like Skill couldn't fit, but Sail Racing is coming in very quick on the board hand. Here we tied on the top mark.
So good comeback from the skeleton there, hey?
Yeah, they're still holding in there, aren't they? Good comeback from Sail Racing too.
They lost a couple of spots that they've gained back.
As we follow them down, we'll just keep an eye out for the others, see where the Moon and the Noakes are. Here we go, Noakes over to our right, which is to windward of the red pumps on screen. And
Probably in 10th they are, the Noakes.
yeah, the Moon is probably at least 6 or 7 places behind, so I don't think that's going to change in terms of the placings. Sorry about that one, Ruff. I'm still a big fan, mate.
We still love you.
We do still love you. Always good to see you here.
And Simon, and who doesn't love Matt Stenter, eh?
Oh, we all love Matt
We all
Stenter.
love Matt Stenter.
Oh, banana fingers.
We've got the charge down the bay. Red pumps look like they're motoring very, very well here, but I think they're going to run out of runway to catch these lead two. But I know Tyler, Greg and Jay will be very happy to take a third place in the last race. They've had a bit of a tough week with some breakages, but they'll be really happy to finish off on a good note before they head up, I believe, tonight to the Flying 11 Nationals in Brisbane to watch their kids sail. So good luck to the kids and all the Manly kids up at the Flying 11 Nationals. Hopefully we see all of them in 16s one day.
What do you think about this breeze? Hasn't changed much from the start?
Swung a little bit left up the top there. But we were definitely pointing directly at the finish line just before, so.
Yeah. So yeah, a little bit of a shift, and just where these lead boats are now, they just look a little bit down pressure. But there's every now and then we're getting a bit of a wave. It looks like there's a lot more pressure over in the looking downwind over in the right hand side, but they're well below that now. We'll see what the chasing pack decide to do on this run. They might elect to.
Red pumps have elected to drive out and try and throw something, I'd imagine.
It's always worth having a go, isn't it? They've got enough clear air between them and fourth.
Nothing to lose, and a few more rolls of the dice.
They weren't going to catch them following, were
Oh,
they?
no.
Here goes the Imagine. Southerly's going through. It's going to keep them in cover. I think he's made it fairly easy for Sarah and the crew there.
I could even get those tactics right,
Yeah,
Steve.
that's exactly right. This one ain't hard, is it? They're virtually pointing. There might be a little high. See how they go down here. They're virtually pointing to the start boat, or the finish boat, I should say.
Well, once again, as we keep saying, you know, viewers, if that shot from behind just shows how that boat, just as I say that, they just did a little tip as the gust hit them. But if you look at the how vertical the mast is, they're sailing that boat really flat.
Yeah, they're not swinging too hard either, are they? They're just, why would you, I guess? You're in that box position at the moment, just relax and enjoy it.
Looks like fairly large contingent of spectator boats down at the bottom here to watch this historic finish. It's the first female in history takes out the Australian 16-footer championship.
After Jimmy, how many? 103 years, did you say?
Two, big fella.
102. I'll remember that next time, maybe.
Be 103 next year.
Oh, there you go.
Yeah, I just missed out sailing in that first title, Steve.
It's a great shot there. First, second and third, all in screen. Nothing favoured out on the other side there for the red pumps. I was just going to follow each other in here. Oh.
You're about to have a little panic for a
I
moment.
was, I think it's a little roll here.
Yeah.
Pretty casual through the boat then suddenly.
Yeah.
There goes the arm. Well done. Good sailing for the Imagine 2, final heat, and for the red pups.
Absolutely sensational. You can see them celebrating. Great sportsmanship from the Imagine team. Giving them a big cheer. Giving us a wave too.
Where's the ribbon?
They're just going past the Cunninghams, who have got a bit of a problem. They're heading home without a mainsail. Looks like they might have a broken rudder on the Cunninghams. But yeah, big celebrations here. Big smiles, big celebrations from the Southerly.
All right,
team.
let's get back into it as well.
A great day for skiffs, great day for women's sailing and the St George Sailing Club.
Yeah. Oh, there's the Cunninghams.
Yeah, it looks like they've got a broken tiller, I think, Steve-O, so they've dropped the main.
So Eric's was next across the line, followed by Skelcon, and then Sail Racing. So
I
one,
think
two,
Sail
three, four,
Racing beat the
five.
Skelcon, I
They
think.
did, yep.
Yep.
Oh, yep. So Skelcon in 6. What does that do to the shuffle?
Skelcon in 6 puts them on 40 points. And this is going to be Noakes, who are on, what are they on? 32.5.
So you've
So
got
they
TTR
got it.
group coming in between Skelcon and them.
I think Skelcon's got third there.
MCC.
Ace, the next one through.
Ace and then Noakes.
Looks like we'll probably have a pretty tight finish between Ivy, Insight, Fluid, SKE, and who have we got?
Is that
with the
Moon
white
in there?
sticker there? No, it's got a B. CJK.
That's who it'll be.
Yeah. So it looks like the order there will probably be very tight between. I think Imy's going to just pip Insight. Then we'll have CJK, Fluid, SKE Electrical, and the mighty Shutek.
Yeah, good race from Sutek. He's going to beat Moon and home. I'm pleased about that. Throw a little bit of solder up his wound, unfortunately, with that one.
Well, what we'll do, we're going to. There's Moonin on screen, but we're going to track on up track and see, go through all the 16s, and we'll pick up the the lead 13s and see what we can pick up there, Dol.
Down to the wire.
The Army has dropped their spinnaker for the viewers at home after finishing and hanging around. So Father Rob, I think, has issued.
Wants to see how the young colt goes.
So bear with us, folks. Obviously, we can't have a drone where we are today. We couldn't have picked a worse spot on Botany Bay for us to cover this.
Charging up the bay again for you folks so we can bring you some of the...
So Cybertech just around to the right of screen. They're coming around to the right there. They're coming right. They're coming. There they are. There's the Cybertech, that little grey spinnaker. So that's our leaders in the 13-foot skiffs. It's just a one-point shootout for them, Stevo. It's out of Ebix and Cybertech, whoever beat whoever.
Now, Jimmy, it's windward boat there with the white square. Your eyes are better than me. Is that Ebix there?
Ebix is still working up to the mark here.
Yeah, that's what I thought.
Just to the right of that shot.
Yeah, so they're on approach to the top mark now.
Still got a few tacks in them. So this is a very dominant win by the Cybertech group. And I think it's the first day that we've had the gold jerseys cross the line. People wearing them cross the line in both classes.
Wow.
That's how tight the racing's been. So the Cybertech's that far in front. Their second place is still not around the top mark, which is that orange mark in the background there.
It does look like there's another 13 up there in play, which isn't what Ebix needs right now.
Which looks like plonk. There's Rob on the Iamy, and hello to all the nappers up there in Byron Bay watching on the TV. Gaby and Theo have just become the Australian 13-foot skiff champions.
Yeah, congratulations, guys.
Yeah, here comes Dad. Proud Dad.
Oh, this is great to see. Yes. Theo's mum and dad on their powerboat coming in. They're pretty excited. Mike and Catherine Franklin, they're looking pretty happy there.
Yeah. Oh. A little bit.
And they've just prawned the spinnaker.
Yeah. They're going to have a celebratory swim there if they're not careful.
But guess what? That doesn't matter.
No, who cares?
And here comes Ebix, James and Gemma Hopkins. They'll be in second, our last year's champions.
Another job there for the Ebix.
They've just, there's
Oh no, sorry.
the plonk.
Oh.
Bit of a battle with the plonk here, and it looks like James and Gemma will get the second place in the race too. So Avril just had a bit of a shaky jibe there. So congratulations to James and Gemma. Sailed a very good regatta. This was very tight right down to this last race. And also well done to Avril and Warwick on the plonk. I think that might give them, I'll just check my scores.
Sail Media just crossed the line then, and then you got Harkin coming in hard and fast.
Yeah, so it wasn't so tight, so that should give Harkin third place and Avril will nail down fourth place. So well done to all our 13-foot skiff sailors. I'm sure you've all had a fun week.
As have we, Dol.
Hasn't been too bad, has it, Jimmy?
Mate, been great.
Oh, just as
Harkin just
as
throws
we
it
were
in the
talking
tide.
about those results, Harkin have fallen over at the last minute. So, but yeah, there's enough in the points that they should be able to get that boat up and be fine. But they are definitely going to get past by Modern Concept Constructions there.
So as
Tommy and Tommy.
As Dole, I think what we might do, we might start wrapping up because we've got to get this mighty fine camera cat back to Sydney. Yeah, I caught up with Graham Bill. We've just had a message for all the volunteers and so forth. So we'll just play that one quickly, that quick video. Here with Graham Bill, the Sailing Administrator for St George Sailing Club and Manly Skiff Club. Graham, excellent week. Thanks very much for putting it on. Talk us through all the... Well, I know there's a ton of volunteers, but just not you pulling it all together, but you're the chief in charge.
Yeah, that's right. We've had a fantastic sailing committee sort of tasked with looking after this event, and they've done a great job with organising everything and making sure that we've got everything ready for the competitors and delivered on all fronts, you know, making sure we've got a good social atmosphere for everyone. We've got a great rigging space and everyone's able to get on the water. Glad to say we delivered on conditions as well. Didn't fail there either.
No, it's been an excellent regatta, and 50 odd 16-foot skiffs, nearly 20 13-foot skiffs. So credit to you guys and all the efforts that you put in.
Yeah, we couldn't be happier with the amount of boats that turned out from all clubs involved. We even, very last minute, we're trying to get a few more skiffs, and we're happy that they were able to attend as well.
Great stuff, Graham. Thanks very much for a wonderful regatta, and we look forward to working with you guys again later on in the year.
Yeah, cheers guys. Thanks for being here and covering on the media front.
No problem. And just had a quick message come through, which I'll read out. It says it's a little bit long-winded, but it is from Jimmy Griffin from the Belmont Club, the Commodore. Just asked us to congratulate on behalf of Belmont. Congratulations to Sarah, Keegan and Kurt. We've witnessed a historical result, inspiring for all, particularly girls in our sport. My 2 daughters, Pelican sailors, have loved following it. Congratulations also to the Cybertech crew, well deserved. Congratulations to all competitors, volunteers, Graham Bill, Peter Tinworth and the committee on a safe and successful regatta. Thanks to Rolf and the St George Club for their generous hospitality yesterday. It was brilliant. Also John and his team for the day and a sneaky few cartons. We were able to hitch aboard the bus for the trip home. Belmont looks forward to hosting everyone when the chances arise again. So thank you very much for your kind words there, Jimmy. I just want to thank Dolly in particular. We're all week. Solid effort straight off a plane. The commitment from you, mate. Next level. Thank you.
Absolute pleasure, Jimmy, and thanks to the Sail Media team for having me and the boys in the back of the boat that make it all happen. Fantastic job.
Yep, and thanks to Steve-O, his brother Clint, Jess Isles, who else we had? Graham. And can't forget Junkie.
Indeed.
For jumping in the commentary chair during the week to bring you these amazing pictures and stories of everything. But yeah, my team behind us here, we've got Rob, Sam, Piers, and we have the great Chits who sits in behind this box all day, and Chits is responsible for doing all the switching, the graphics, the loading of all the videos that you guys see at home, and you know, his work doesn't stop when we turn the live off here. He goes home and does edits and goes through 1 million photos to get them up for you all, so huge thanks to Chits. And Dylan, thanks for your half week, mate. It was good. Hopefully you're enjoying yourself over there at Sail GP, brother. But
they get some wind.
Thank you very much to the Manly St George Club for entrusting Sail Media with to bring you this coverage. Thank you to huge thanks to the club, particularly Graham for all his help, and Jack Andrew over on the start boat for tipping me off to what's going on. You know, without those sorts of little things going on, it makes our job out here on the water extremely hard. So, but thank you very much, and fingers crossed we get a phone call to do next year from someone.
Well, thanks to you, Jimmy. I think really it brings the sailing to a new level, especially for the spectators. It's always difficult, especially being out here and trying to commentate on the sailing itself. We don't quite have the technology that the foilers have, and you've got all the background noise, so it's certainly the commentary and the team behind the camera guys, they're working extra hard to make it all happen. So very special, and thanks to Sail Media. It's been excellent.
Cheers, Steve. And so that will conclude the broadcast, and this has been a Sail Media production for the St George Sailing Club.